And we are delighted to have you with us on the starting lineup, and welcome back. Great having you along with us on the ride, folks. Now, I've got to tell you, we're having a few logistics problems in our studio at the moment. I know Art is there listening and waiting, but in the meantime, we'll tell you the starting lineup is brought to you by Play It Again Sports in the Fremont Shopping Center, Battlefield and Fremont Springfield, by Citizens Bank of Rogersville with two locales, one adjacent to Highland Springs and the other in Rogersville itself, by Swing Right Golf at the south end of Campbell Avenue, a little bit north of Nixon. You have a great time at Swing Right Golf with the simulator and the outdoor batting cages, everything at Swing Right Golf. And by Marshfield Chevrolet at the I-44 exit, couple of left turns, and you're there at Marshfield Chevrolet. Ned Reynolds joined by the co-host, Dennis Heim, in with us today, and by
Maddux Radosevic.
And by our guest. A guest coach is with us, and this is always a big deal. We're going to visit and find out a little bit about the Bolivar Liberators. Coach, good morning. It's Coach Robert Clardy, folks. You with us all right, man?
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
You doing okay?
Doing well. It's another great day here in Bolivar. It's been a crazy summer with us moving our weight room and construction going on down here, but it's actually still going on behind me, so if you hear a bunch of stuff, that's what it is. But it's been good. It's been great. We're excited about it.
When is the project supposed to be completed?
Well, I think weight room-wise, we're almost completely done. We've still got some technology stuff to finish up, but now they've started on our old weight room. Now Auto Tech is moving back on campus, and construction is just kind of moving along. They're hoping to get that all done before school, and you can't find a parking spot out back behind the weight room right now. They're all working this morning, so they got started early.
Now, to be perfectly clear with the audience, this is the dead period for coaches and players. Nothing's allowed to take place until what's the date, Coach?
On Monday. We can finally get started. We have a big parent meeting on Sunday, like a lot of schools are doing, and then Monday we get after it and get started. I mean, that jamboree's coming up pretty quick.
Robert, how has your team responded to all the changes going on around the school and with the weight room?
Yeah, it's had its challenges. It had its challenges at the end of last semester too, because we were sending stuff off to get sandblasted, powder coated, and just kind of get refreshed. And so we were having to adjust workouts, and had to do that this summer. We had over 220 kids come in through the weight room each day this summer, so it was a lot on our staff to get those kids in and out, and also just kind of get creative whenever things are getting moved. And but the kids kept showing up and kept putting in the work. So it's been great. I think they're just excited for it to all be over as well, and kind of get in here and get started in a new space. It looks great. It's one of the nicest weight rooms I've seen, especially in this area. And our school district's done a great job with it. Now, Coach Clardy, you and our guest host today, Dennis Heim, of course, have played your level of football. Do these kids coming in have any idea what the first day and the first couple of days of fall drills is going to be about, and what do you articulate to them? Yeah, I think this summer it's weird because in the summer they're allowed to have so many contact days, so that allure of the first practice, the first day. I mean, I remember back when I was in high school and our first practice was at midnight, and there was a lot of excitement around it. And that first day, you finally get to put the pads on and get started. But they've had the pads on most of this summer, especially in July with our team camp, and so still just creating that excitement that, hey, we officially get started on Monday. And yeah, it's we're going to test them, especially we got to be creative with the temperatures, because we can get run off the field pretty quick too with that. And but no, just get creative with those schedules to make sure we still get a lot out of it, and make sure that they're prepared for the game, for the Jamboree, and then week 1 versus Osage.
So, Coach, I'm curious, as you take a look at these players and letting them know what to expect when they first come in, what do you tell them from a conditioning standpoint that you expect from them whenever they come in the first day? Yeah,
so the main focus this summer, all summer, because we really ran into some issues last year with injuries, has really been just taking care of their bodies. And one, making sure that they're in shape, but also making sure that I tell them every practice, I'd say, what are the 3 things you need to do tonight? And they say, eat, sleep, hydrate. And those are the 3 things that are most important to their recovery, not just physically, but mentally, to make sure that they show up every day and they're ready to perform. And, knock on wood, we haven't had injuries like we had last year. And I think that's credit to the players really buying into that, how they've attacked the weight room, but also how they've attacked their conditioning, how they've attacked making sure that they eat a lot of food, especially being a football player, being outside, being in the sun and sweating a lot and losing a lot of calories. They got to replenish that. So just making sure that they take care of their bodies, because that's going to help them show up the next day and be able to perform at a high level.
Coach Clardy, Dennis Heim was a Monette product, and there's for so many years Monette and Bolivar played against each other. That's not going to, I don't know when that ended, but by the same token, it brings back a lot of memories for you, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It was, I don't think that there was a non-conference team that we played that had a bigger rivalry than Monette had with Bolivar, because year after year, Coach Fowler had an agreement with the coach at Bolivar to play them, and it was just it was a pretty big rivalry because we knew that was going to be our first big test, and of course Bolivar was always a very tough opponent.
Yeah, for us, I don't remember what year that ended. Obviously, I've been in the area, being at SBU for a lot of years, and been able to watch a lot of football games, probably a lot of the Bolivar Monette games over the years as well. But I think with all the shuffling of conferences and trying to find where we're going to get our out of conference games, and the just shuffling of schedules and teams moving around, new conferences being created, somehow that got lost in that. And I know there's new rivalries that kick up every couple of years. I know West Plains and us have kind of turned into one, and then obviously with us and with myself being from Marshville, that was my first time having to coach against them. To be on the opposite sideline, that was a rough experience this year. Luckily, we walked out of there with a win, but there was just a lot of emotions and anxiety and nervousness going into that. So there's some rivalries that are kind of kicking up with Bolivar, and it changes based on kind of conference too.
Who is your opening game this year?
We open up at Osage. Good football team. They had some seniors last year, but they're always going to rebuild. They have great numbers. We noticed that last year in all of their grade levels. They have great numbers, and coaches are doing a great job with culture there. And so we know that's going to be another tough when we open up both games on the road, both our first two games at Osage and then at Harrisonville. So two great culture programs there, and then our first home game hosting West Plains. So that'll be we start out with a tough schedule, but I think our players have put in a lot of work, and they're ready and showing a lot of improvement this summer.
When you open up the doors on Monday, about how many candidates do you expect?
We'll have a little over 70, and that's something that was important for me whenever I took this job, was just seeing how much I can try and increase the numbers. I've got a son coming up through the system as well. He'll be in 6th grade this year. I know a lot of those 7th graders. I've coached those kids in baseball, and they're all my son's best friends. So just increasing those numbers. We finished a couple years ago, I think, with 41 in 9th through 12th grade, and that's extremely low numbers especially for Bolivar standards. But so trying to get those back in the right direction. So we'll have over 70. Still struggling to try and get it to where we can go 3 teams, freshmen, JV, and varsity. Like a lot of teams are doing. Almost everybody in our conference, I think, last year only played one sub-varsity game, and that was a JV game. So it's good for those freshmen, though. They get a lot of experience playing against other JV players. And we should be around 70 to 75. Do
you find your feeder systems in the elementary and junior highs to be pretty good in Bolivar?
Yeah, and the thing that helps us the most with that is our coaches. All the youth coaches, luckily being from the area and being here at SBU, I still knew a lot of these parents. So whenever I took over, knowing that the coaches in that system were going to do a great job of developing kids that just want to learn, want to be coachable, want to be coached hard. Some of my son's practices, when I go and watch them, those coaches get after them, but those kids respond and they love it. And so that's, I think, the response from the coaches, the community. They want us to be great at football, the investment's there. And I'm just excited to continue to develop this in my second year now. I learned a lot that first year. just to continue to develop this and get those numbers going back in the right direction.
Well, let's get the Liberators back in the headlines again. We'd sure love to have that happen. Coach, thank you very much for taking time to visit with us. Enjoy the rest of the dead time and then back to work on Monday, okay?
All right. I appreciate you guys.
Robert Clardy visiting with us from up in Bolivar. We'll take a timeout on the starting lineup back in a second. I got to tell you, we're going through some logistic problems. I know Art Hains is there. He's been listening to us. Let's see. Arthur, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can.
Now we're there. Now, why is that all of a sudden working now? Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Art Hains is with us, folks, as is our co-host, Dennis Heim. Now we're going to work around some scheduling problems we had. We just had a call a second ago from DeAndre in Indianapolis, and we're awaiting him to call back, and I hope he gets that chance. Say hello to Dennis, Arthur, Art, if you will.
Hey, Dennis, man, congratulations on your jersey retirement honor. Well deserved.
I appreciate that, Art. That means a lot, and it's great to have you on the air with us now here, finally.
Great to have you here.
Hey, guy, everything is just great.
No problems. There's no problems here.
We finally, I don't know what happened, but the Gremlins, we finally kicked them out. So maybe it was penicillin or something.
Who knows? Yeah, no idea.
Maybe it was your substance, Ed.
Beg your pardon, sir?
Maybe it was your substance that you used.
I hope not, but yeah, it could very well have been. Let me talk to Artur just a split second, because you're back from Denver. Number one, what were your impressions of Coors Field?
Beautiful. Great setting there in the mountains and the downtown, and fun stuff around there. It's that synergy that everybody's looking for around their ballpark. And it was a very nice stadium.
Now, this is the Rockies are not exactly a headline baseball team, nor were the Royals. What were your crowds like out there?
It was unbelievable. They had 39,000 on Friday, 40,000 on Saturday, and then it was 101 degrees on Sunday. I did not go to that one, and it was 33,000 for that.
Gee, Merry Christmas.
For two of the worst teams in baseball.
Is it a factor involved of where the stadium is located and maybe perhaps a gathering point for others?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's exactly it. But, it's just a fun ballpark to go to, and a good contingent of Royals fans there as well.
Well, it leads into what I was, I'm one of those, but we're outside Kansas City. We go to Kansas City and watch the games in the Truman Sports Complex, and it's great. It's comfortable. But I wonder if Mr. Marshall doesn't have maybe the secret plans of bringing in the younger crowds and making it a gathering point. Would you concur with that?
Mr. Sherman, you mean?
I said Marshall. Sherman, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly it. To get the 20s and 30-somethings.
Well, we'll see if it works.
They're looking for something to do after the game, and now you have to drive to it. Like you say, you and I and people in Springfield, we just go home.
Yep.
But up there, they're looking for something extra, and they certainly can find it. Now, I will say this. On Sunday, the day I didn't go because of the heat, my son and his son went. I couldn't get the bartender at our hotel to figure out how to get the Rockies game on in Denver. So we had to go to somewhere else, but we did. It was nearby, and it was fun.
You couldn't get the game in Denver?
She didn't know. It was pilot error.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of pilot error, you and Mr. Heim didn't have any of that when you were doing the Bears football games. I'm sure you had some memorable trips that you could articulate to us.
Well, we were dodging traffic in Youngstown. They left at this hotel with no food service. The team ordered in, and Dennis and I and Megan was our young helper back then. Now the women's SID, but yeah, we had to walk down a city street, and part of it didn't. I mean, it was not a street; it was a highway, and some of it didn't have a sidewalk, so it was a little perilous.
Yeah, hard to get an Uber when you're in Youngstown. I'll just say
they had no Uber. We asked about that. They said, "Oh no, we've got about two," and Can't ever get them out here.
No Uber, no taxi, no anything. But, Art, you made reference earlier talking about the stop in Fargo, and so Art and I are both lovers of food and drink, and we were looking for, where do we go? And we're in downtown Fargo, and we go to this place called Fish and Beer. It's like, well, how do you beat that? So we'll give that place a go, and it was a really nice place. And you're in Fargo, Nebraska, in the center of the country, but they had oysters and all sorts of other seafood available there. So Art and I both like oysters, so we ordered those, and as we order them, I said, Art, if we get sick on oysters that are ordered in Fargo, North Dakota, and we're unable to do the game tomorrow, and it's due to us being ill from eating oysters, people are going to say, now let me get this straight. They ate oysters in the center of the country. That would have a reflection on our intellect, I think, and they would wonder what in the world were we thinking. But they were fantastic. Unfortunately, we didn't have any illness issues after that. It was a great place.
Now, we sat right at the bar. It was an open kitchen. You could see them cooking, and we ordered a dozen oysters on the half shell. Liked them so much, we ordered another dozen.
No.
Yeah, and then whatever fish we had. So we had a good time, and we had the beer part, too.
Yeah, we had the beer part, too.
Wait a minute. You guys are supposed to be pro broadcasters.
We were, but not that night, Ned. Come on.
The night before, we're getting ready.
Art, if we would have said we had Jack Daniels, I don't think he'd have said a word.
No, not at all.
I would have been totally silent. You guys did such a great job too, and it was enjoyable listening. And Dennis, you bringing in the football aspect of things, and Art, who's one of the best play-by-play-men in the country. That they were great broadcasts. Do you have? This is to Dennis. Do you have one that sticks out other than the Youngstown episode?
Yeah, well, playing in Fargo, they've got an indoor facility there, and everyone knows about the football program at North Dakota State and perennial national champions in FCS. They have now moved to FBS, and it's just amazing to me, Art, to think about that just a short time ago, the way things were, and now Missouri State at FBS, and now North Dakota State's moved in that area. There's going to be some teams in FBS. I don't think North Dakota State sneaks up on anyone, but the quality of that program up there is just unbelievable. I recall how friendly the fans were before the games and stuff, but they always expected that they were being nice to the lambs being led to the slaughter.
Right.
And I do remember that we played one time up there in our broadcast, and we were still winning in the fourth quarter, and those nice fans weren't so nice anymore as it relates to their enthusiasm. I walked out of the booth about 5 minutes left in the game to go interview the coach after the game, and it took a while to get down there. It was so deafeningly loud in that stadium. It made my head hurt, and I wondered, how are the quarterbacks able to signal the players on offense about what the play is even going to be, because that crowd, since it's an enclosed stadium, it was unbelievably deafeningly loud. I don't know what kind of decibels they had there, but it had to match Arrowhead or more. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with that enclosed sound and 18,000 or 19 or whatever they had, it's a great atmosphere, and still is, I'm sure. And they're going to go into the Mountain West as one of the favorites their first year.
I think they play, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say they play Jacksonville State in it may be their first game.
It's true, yeah. Is it Jackson State or Jacksonville State? I may be wrong about that.
It would be Jacksonville.
Okay.
Jacksonville.
Well, at any rate, yeah. So you're talking about there's going to be an interesting game there to watch to see, where's the level of play and things along that line. But if they take their success in FCS to the next level, they're going to be an amazing team to try to contend with.
Artur, you may not remember this, but you and I did the first game ever from Fargo. We flew up there in, I want to say probably late October, early November, and did the Bears game, and the Bears won it.
Wow.
And do you remember what the guy at the press box said about the crowd that day? Do you remember that one, Art?
Yeah, it was pheasant season.
So the crowd is going to be a little bit smaller today because pheasant season opens up. Oh, great. And the lambs are coming in to be sacrificed.
I remember about Fargo one time when Dave Steckel was the coach, and I was on the bus with him, and the bus driver took a wrong turn to the hotel, and Steck jumped all over Brenton Elam, who at the time was our operations director because the bus driver took a wrong turn.
Oh, my.
It was Britton's fault.
Go ahead, Maddux.
Dennis and Art, for both of you, this might be a tough question to answer, but what was your favorite season together in the broadcast booth?
They were all good as far as I'm concerned. It was great having the opportunity to work with someone that has the credentials and the abilities to call games that Art has. I do remember the first game I did with him was against Mizzou. And so we were up there, and that was an amazing game because the Bears were scoring. And I remember, Art, it was 3rd and 24, and we converted to a first down. It was I think it was 3rd and 24 yards, and they gained like 30 or 40 yards on a running play, a sweep to the opposite side of the field, and it was like, wow, this is not anything that we expected. And Art does have the ability to show a high level of enthusiasm in the booth. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it was like, man, it came unhinged. It got really exciting really fast. It was a lot of fun.
Their fans were unhappy at halftime.
Yeah, it was not a pleasant thing for them at all, not what they expected, because, we were their first opponent of the year. We're level below them as it relates to the programs, and having Steckel come back and have that kind of a performance, especially in the first half, I don't think that their halftime in the locker room was too much fun, probably.
I was unfortunately not in attendance, but I did have my cell phone with me, and my old buddy Kelby Stuckey was up there watching the game. And he says, Reynolds, they can't stop us.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't turn out quite that way, but still, I think probably the seeing the news aspect of it at the end of the game and seeing the teams come together, their quarterback, he plays for the Seattle Seahawks.
Drew Lock?
Yeah, Drew Lock. Exactly, right.
Drew Lock comes trotting over. He knew all of the Bears players.
Yeah.
And they're high-fiving and shaking hands and so forth and so on. This is great. This is what athletics is all about.
Yeah,
he's from Lee Summit.
There we go.
That's right, Lee Summit. Yeah. And that's very, very good. Very good. And that's, again, what it's about. Well, you guys had such a great partnership. And, of course, the town of Monette comes very much into play in that as well.
Yes, Art stole a girl from Monette to marry. Yeah, a former classmate of mine. So, yeah, Lisa is a Monette product as well. And what a great couple and great family that they've got many years later here now.
Well, guys, we do have, I believe, a special guest waiting for us. I was hoping DeAndre might be able to call back, but evidently his schedule with the Indianapolis Colts is too much. But in the meantime, we do have a high school coach who is with us, Andy McFarland, and we will get to him in a split second. But first, we'll take a quick time out on the starting lineup and be right back. And we thank you very much for listening to us on the starting lineup. And those St. Louis Cardinals that Mike just mentioned will be here at 102.1 tonight, playing the final game of their series with the New York Yankees. Ned Reynolds along with Dennis Heim and
Maddux Radosevic.
And our special guest who is sitting in with us, Andy McFarland, who is the head coach at the Willard Tigers. Also, as well as all the other coaches in the area in the dead period. Been a pretty good vacation for you so far, Andy?
I don't know if I've had much of a vacation. My wife had me out there till about 10 p.m. last night, staying in the deck. So I appreciate the break you guys are giving me this morning.
How much of the staining did you get done?
As all home projects usually go around our house, we didn't get quite as far as we hoped to. So we're back at it today.
Forgive me for asking, do you live in Willard proper?
I do. When I accepted this job, we moved up here. I was still finishing my time at Reed Spring, but we've been here for just over a couple years now. So it's funny. Probably 10 years ago, I was sitting down with a colleague, a high school head coach, and I was getting into the head coaching game. And I got the advice, if you're going to be a head football coach, you need to live in the district. And at that time, I didn't know I was getting advice from a coach of a district that I was going to work at eventually, because that was Brock Rote, who was the head coach at Willard when he said that. But it has been good advice. And over my time as a head coach, man, it makes a big difference to be in the community and have your kids in the school. And so we're happy to be living here in Willard.
Just out of curiosity, now you have one of your high school products from Reed Spring playing for the Bears right now, Caden Wiest. Do you have the opportunity, being there at Willard, to get down to see any of the Bears games?
Oh, yeah. My son is going to be an 8th grader this year, and we make it to a couple home games every year. It's to see Caden out there. I hear he's had a great summer. I'm excited to see what he's going to be with the Bears this fall.
He is, having seen him, he is not the Caden Wiest who you remember. He is one hell of a lot bigger. I think he told me that he weighed in 265 or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, and I'll tell you, he's strong. I don't know what description to use for the strength that he has, and he's very quick as well. So a lot of expectations for Caden this year.
You could use him on the Willard football teams this year.
No doubt. And having him for 3 years there at Reed Spring in the weight room, it is not a shock to hear that he's gotten bigger and stronger. Man, he's an incredible kid and an extremely hard worker. I'm so happy for him and excited to, see him progress in his career.
Coach, how does a player like Caden Wiest inspire players under your current regime? How does that motivate them and get them to say, hey, I want to get to that level?
I'm going into my 3rd year at Willard now. My first year at Reed Spring, we won 2 games. In my 3rd year, we played for a state championship. We came up short, lost to Cardinal Ritter, but it was an amazing experience. And in the 3 years that I've been here, or 2 in the start of the 3rd, we've talked about that a lot. That you never know what you can achieve, like set high goals and do the dirty work to get there. Caden is definitely a part of that conversation. He and his teammates at Reed Spring were the reason all those great things happened, because they, did not want to settle for the status quo, and they were willing to do whatever it took to get the outcome that they desired.
Andy, when you open up the doors on Monday, about how many kids will be out?
We will have in the neighborhood of about 80 when all the freshmen are here as well. So that's about where it's a little bit lower than it was last year. I've heard that that's a trend around Southwest Missouri, that just numbers are a little bit smaller. But we've had a great group here all summer long. Last week, at the end of July, we got to finish our summer at Evangel Camp, which is somewhere I've taken teams for about 10 years. And we had a great performance by our guys there and got to do some fun stuff as well. I hope there's some good football players at Willard. There's not a lot of great bowlers. We went to Andy B's to finish our party. But we've had a great summer, and it is hard to believe that we're in dead week, and week 1 is just a few weeks away. We're there, man. We're in it.
Arthur, can you ask any questions? Are you able to?
Well, hi, Andy. Yeah, so what are the strengths you think of the team this year, and how much continuity do you have on the roster?
Well, we graduated a great group of wide receivers, notably J.J. Huskisson. He's going to be at SBU this fall, and, he was dealing with some injuries last year, but he had an incredible high school career. I'm so excited to see what J.J. can do with Coach Hansen, who I worked with at Hillcrest for years during the Dorial Green Beckham time. I was coordinating the offense, and he was the wide receivers coach, and now he's the head coach at SBU, and I'm just down the road at Willard. It's awesome. So we graduated a great group of wide receivers. We've got both of our leading rushers back on offense. We've got a couple of offensive linemen that will be going into their 3rd year as a starter on a Friday night in the COC, which is a big deal. Defensively, we've got a lot of guys up the middle of the defense back as well. So a lot of new faces on the offensive skill positions, a lot of continuity on the offensive line at tight end, at running back, and then up the middle of the defense on the D-line at linebacker and our safeties as well.
Who do you guys open up with?
We are going to Waynesville week 1, and then week 2 we will be home for a home opener with Ozarks coming to town.
In your district, Andy, who is the kingpin? Who are the teams looking out for?
Last year, we were in a district with Republic, and we were blessed to finish our season, finish our conference season week 9 at Republic, and then turn around in week 10 and go back to Republic in district play, which that doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So we'll see what the district looks like, whether we go east or west here in just a couple of weeks. We don't know yet, but Last year we were with District with Republic.
Artur?
So how do you look at the quarterback position?
So we've had my first 2 seasons, Tyler Davis started both years. Tyler he was a shorter guy. He was a really good athlete. He's part of our state championship baseball team. He was a senior last year, and he's graduated. Tyler also dealt with some injuries last year. He had an ankle at the end of the year. And there was a sophomore named Caden Snyder that started 3 games last year, including the last 2 at Republic. So his first start as a sophomore was at Webb City, and then he got to start at Republic twice. So tough places to play. He did a good job, especially in Week 10. He threw for about 260 yards and a couple of touchdowns in Week 10 in our district game. He's in a competition. He's going to be a junior this year. A young man named Carlos Begay. And Carlos and Caden have both had great summers. Carlos did a great job at Evangel Camp. He's a little bit more dynamic of an athlete. Caden is a little bit taller. He's a left-handed quarterback. Caden is with a strong arm. So they're a little bit different in their playing style and what they bring to the table. But they are both in the mix right now going into fall camp.
Coach, how does the playbook adjust when you're dealing with a left-handed quarterback as opposed to having the traditional righty in there?
You'd rather be doing a play-action boot to the left than to the right, spread out to the left a little bit more. Outside of that, not very much at all. I've had several left-handed quarterbacks. I'm left-handed. I kind of like coaching the left-handed guys. It's easy for me. They don't have to mirror me when we're doing the drills. They can do exactly what I'm doing. But I had Mitch Jenkins at Hillcrest. He's a very talented left-handed quarterback. Went to Missouri State and then finished his career at Evangel. And then I had Blandy Burrell at Reed Spring. The All-State kid was a left-handed kid. I like the lefties. I like the right-handed guys too. I just want a guy that can make the right decision and get the ball where it's supposed to go.
All you lefties can pitch too. They can pitch real good. Did you play baseball at all, Andy?
I played up until my freshman year of high school. I went to Hillcrest, and I played mostly outfield. I got called in my freshman year to pitch, and the catcher's giving hand signals, and I kept shaking him off. And he finally came up to me and said, "What's going on?" I said, "Dude, I don't know any of that stuff. Hold your glove there. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can." So that's about my pitching career right there.
Were you out there during the Barrett regime?
Yeah, John was 1 year younger than 1 grade below me. So he was a friend, ran with the same group of guys. I saw some of the most incredible things out of John Barrett I've ever seen from a high school athlete, one of which is not a pitcher. He's playing right field and threw a guy out at first base that should have been a single. What a strong arm from a little tiny guy.
Coach, give us a little bit of a preview of your season this year, your opponents and things along that line to give the viewers a painting of what the season looks like.
Yeah, we kind of have a unique situation. There was a lot of movement with head coaches this year, as you guys know. And so for the first half of our season, we're mostly seeing new staffs, which is exciting, and you don't really know what to expect going into it. I mentioned we go to Waynesville week 1. They've got a new staff this year. And then Ozarks coming to us. They've also got a new guy at head coach. We go to Glendale week 3. And Coach Tristan, who used to be at Willard, is still there, going on his 3rd year as well. And then week 4 will be our homecoming game with Kickapoo coming to town, another new head coach there. So that's what the schedule looks like. With our team, I'm really excited about our senior class. We have some excellent guys in this group. And, you're going into year 3. You've got a chance to get to know them. They've got a chance to get to know you. Hopefully you build that mutual trusting relationship. A couple of guys that I referenced earlier, Kane Gately and CJ Seymour, are going to be 3rd-year starters on the offensive line. And, man, that is awesome. I know what a difference it makes. Just if you can think all the way back, it's longer for some of us than others, but think about being a junior playing a varsity sport and then being a senior playing a varsity sport. It just feels different, You just have a different level of confidence, and we're hoping those guys bring that confidence along with them. Also on the offensive line, we got David Ashley, who started a couple games late last year. And then we got a couple of sophomores, Landon Willauer and Brody Wilson. They did not look like sophomores at Evangel Camp. I was so proud of those guys getting to go against other varsity competition and excited about their intelligence and their athleticism and their size, what they're going to bring to the table. We've got a great group of tight ends I referenced earlier as well. Michael Hallman and Nash Murray, Luke Thomas and Riley Gibbons. They're all guys along with that offensive line, and then two returning running backs that have been our leading rushers for the last 2 seasons. That's James Slaughter and Grayson Walden. You really hope, especially with a first-year starter at quarterback, whether it's Caden or Carlos, that you're able to establish a consistent run game and get 4+ yards per play, and kind of take control of the clock and the tempo of the game and all that thing. So that's what we're hoping to do on offense this year. I also mentioned our defense up the middle. Gunnar Purrier and Michael Hallman at inside linebacker, Kason Kaufman and Cade Schertz at safety positions. All of those guys have been starting for at least a year, if not 2. And then a lot of other surrounding cast on the defense that is returning with a lot of experience. You hope to build a level of consistency and control the clock and move the chains. And, that's the strategy that we're going into the season with. And that's what we tried to accomplish at Evangel. And I think we did so pretty consistently. Excited to see what this group of guys can do.
Sounds like Andy McFarland's ready to put that staining bucket aside and get some football going on.
Yeah.
Andy, thank you very, very much for taking time to visit with us. And let's get Willard in the headlines, okay?
Thank you guys very much.
Andy McFarland visiting with us from out at Willard. We'll take a timeout on the starting lineup and be right back. Great having you with us on the starting lineup, and we are in the stretch run at the moment. Ed Reynolds along with Dennis Heim and
Maddux Radosevic
and
Art Hains
and Arthur. Our special guest Dennis Heim is with us, but so is another one. One of the. There are only five individuals now who have had their jerseys retired at Missouri State, and this one in particular. DeAndre Smith is just one of the all-time greats. D, thank you very much. Say hello to D over here, too, if you will.
D, hey, congratulations. Hey, I appreciate being on with you guys. Congratulations on getting that jersey retired. Obviously, that's a tremendous honor, and I was excited when I got the word, so I'm pretty sure you are as well.
You bet. That's very true. And DeAndre, it means a lot to have you available here this morning in your busy schedule to be able to join us. Excited to have you here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we kind of worked out. Today is our off day with the players, and so we're just kind of getting some things ready for tomorrow. We got a big scrimmage in front of the fans, so the timing was absolutely perfect.
DeAndre, are the Colts scrimmaging another team, or is it among the team itself?
It's the team itself tomorrow. Then on Monday we travel to New England, and we'll be in a joint practice with those guys, like on Tuesday, Thursday, and then we play them on Thursday night. So we're about 8 days away for the first preseason game.
So you have scrimmages with the Patriots, and then you turn around and play them in an exhibition game?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of one of those deals where you practice. Every team, pretty much, when you play them in the preseason game, you actually practice with them a couple of days. Sometimes it's one practice, sometimes it's 2, but we get a chance to go against those guys for 2 days and then play them. Yes, it's kind of crazy.
Artur, say hello to DeAndre.
Yeah, hi, D. So do you all have training camp at Lucas Oil, or do you go somewhere else?
We go somewhere else. We up in a place called Westfield, and we're up north. So it's a beautiful kind of sports complex called Grand Park in Westfield, and got a great setup. Hotel is closed. We have basically an indoor facility, and they got great practice facilities. So we've been up here for several years, and the guys love it. But this is actually our last year here, and we'll actually just do it at our facility from moving forward in the future.
DeAndre, our producer, Maddux, has a question for you. Go ahead, Maddux.
Hi, DeAndre. We already got Dennis's perspective on this, but I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on the future of Missouri State's football team and the new head coach, Casey Woods. What are your thoughts on the Bears going forward?
Well, it's exciting. I tell you, just the immediate success that they had, moving up, and then having an opportunity to get a big-time coach like Casey, and I have a unique connection with Casey. Our offensive coordinator, a guy named Jim Bob Cooter, is really tight with Casey, and Jim Bob was just in Springfield here a few weeks ago, just visiting Coach Wood, and took a picture of the stadium and the jersey, and he shared it with the staff and all that kind of stuff. So I know he's invested with hoping his friend does really, really well. But I'm excited about just what they've done in the past and what they're going to do in the future. And it's big time. It's well deserved for a great university like Missouri State to be able to play some big time college football. So I'm excited.
DeAndre, it's interesting because whenever I played, which preceded you by a fair amount, but to look at what the program has done since you left, and I'm talking about just in the last couple of years, as you make reference to, but we're going to be on national television this year, maybe up to 7 times, certainly 6. Wow. And if someone would have told you or I that not too long ago, we'd have said they may be a little bit on the drink that Ned Reynolds prefers in order to make a statement like that. It kind of boggles the mind to think that they've come this far.
Absolutely. And when I actually got there in '87, I always felt like we was that little engine that could, and we were like, hey, we just want to get to, a chance where we can make the playoffs and play in front of, hey, maybe 10,000 people, in a playoff game, and then to just see where the program has gone and to be, like you said, playing bowl games and be on national TV. There's no way I would have ever thought that. But it's really cool to see it, and I've made some connections with some guys on recent teams, coaching and player-wise. So I'm excited about the program, and I know those guys are going to do really, really well.
Artur?
Well, the expansion of the stadium was brought on by your team's success in '89 and '90.
I will say that's probably one of the, I guess the regrets of, kind of being done when I was done, because I did go back when Briggs or Plaster at that time, had expanded and got the upper deck, and I just thought that was really cool. And I was actually able to go there one of the first games in that stadium just to feel the atmosphere, because that was something I always wanted to be able to say I played in, a stadium that had all these people in it. And then the other part to it was Forsyth getting the transformation. That was a cool deal. I was just there earlier this year, seeing Forsyth and the upper second floor level and all this, and doing a tour of the offices. I'm like, man, this is really a big time program. So I'm glad that I could say, hey, we had a little something to do with that, and I'm glad those guys are being able to perform in a facility that's, big time for those guys.
It was more than just a little that you had to do with it. It was a whole lot. Now, you didn't hear us, DeAndre, but we got to talking about the Bears in the past, and your name, of course, came up as one of the 5 who've had the jersey retired. We also recalled the injury aspect. Can you real quickly go into that and how you played 1 week after surgery?
Yeah, it was one of those deals where obviously it was a great playoff game, and I scored a touchdown, and my knee just kind of buckled. I fell down and felt a little pop in my knee, and they took me in and, kind of wrapped me up, iced me up a little bit to say, hey, great, we end up winning the game, great kick by Chris Potash and all that. But the next day, so this was Saturday, on Sunday, I woke up and they were like, hey, I don't know why they wanted to do the surgery so fast, because there was never any talk that I was going to play the next week, but we did the surgery on Sunday, which was, I still don't know why we did it, but I'm glad they did. And then I had the surgery on Sunday. Then on Monday, I truly woke up and I felt really good. And I went to Forsyth. I sat in front of the trainer's office before he got there and told him I was going to play. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, D, great. Yeah, that's not possible. You had a great, it was a great season. I'm sorry to see that you're injured, but there's no way you can play. So, long story short, I forced them to give me an opportunity to get on the bike, lift some weights, and by the time I got done with all that Monday, they said, hey, well, maybe Wednesday we'll get you out moved around. I moved around. I wasn't great. And then by that time, towards the end of the week, they thought, well, man, maybe this could really work, because my body didn't have time to realize I was injured. And, the rest was history. I played on Saturday. Unfortunately, we lost the game. But it was one of those deals that I kind of share with my players all the time when guys, get cartilage tissue tears and things like that. I said, well, I played in 7 days. You guys, it take you 3 months to get back.
And if they ever doubt you, you have them get in touch with us, because that's the damnedest story I've ever heard. Hey,
it was truly crazy.
We're going to have to break here, DeAndre. Thank you very, very, very much for being part of the show. And can we get in touch with you during the course of the season? Is that possible?
Oh, absolutely. I love visiting with all you guys. And Dennis, again, congratulations. Tremendous honor. Glad I got another. Hopefully we'll get more guys, that can join that club.
I'm in favor of DeAndre, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys take care.
Thanks, D. That's DeAndre Smith visiting with us from Indianapolis. He's running backs coach for the Indianapolis Colts, and he'll have, he told us yesterday they're going to New England for a series of scrimmages up there and then a game.
Exciting to see him have such success.
I think we'll have another retirement here in about 5 years.
I think you're probably right. I think, Arthur, you're probably right. By the same token, though, we are, we still have a minute. You get out of here, Dennis. Dennis has another assignment to get to. Thanks, D. Thank you very, very much. Dennis Heim sitting in and visiting with us. Royals came up with a big win last night. Nice to have Bobby Witt back in the lineup, didn't it?
I'd say so. Went 3 for 5, and then Kyle Isbell back. He had a couple of hits. So, yeah, it all worked out pretty well last night.
What did you think of Bubic going to the Dodgers?
Well, I'm not surprised they traded him. Now, he's been hurt all year, and he's still hurt. So I guess they're banking on him being able to be healthy and help him down the stretch. But the stretch is getting pretty close. So I was not surprised.
Now, real quickly, since we're almost out of time, was it a hint that they might not be able to re-sign Skubal?
The Dodgers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Because there'll obviously be a huge bidding war for him, and the Dodgers have got a bigger war chest than anybody. But, yeah, you can't ever have too much pitching.
No, you cannot. Art Hains, you'll be with us tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
There we are, folks. We're out of time. Ned Reynolds along with
Maddux, Radosevic,
and
Art Hains.
Thank you, folks, for being with us. Great having you along with the ride, and we will see you tomorrow right here on the starting lineup.
See ya.